Okay, let's start. So, hello everyone, hello GS Fest, hello Kyiv. My name is Pavel or Paul or Pavlo, if you can call me here by that name. And well, actually, I'd like to say thank you, really, thank you all for this amazing conference. Thank you, organizers, volunteers, and all of you, the crowd, the community, the local community. You did really great job these 2 days. They're just amazing. Like, really, like, again, like, some applause for you. Like, come on. Just don't be shy. Come on, guys. You have to be proud of yourself. This conference really rocks. Back to business. About this talk. Well, first of all, this talk is going to be a little bit opinionated. That's my ideas about it. Probably you might have quite the opposite ideas. That's okay. Then I'd like to highlight that there's going to be like lessons learned stuff. That's not like basic documentation, just storytelling, something like that. That's our own, my own team fails as well as wins. And yeah, just do the same at your own risk. A few words about me, just to know each other a little bit better. Besides leading a team of developers, I do a lot in the local community, I mean in Belarusian local front-end community, by promoting, by doing some YouTube show, Transport show. We have a community and we have a YouTube channel. Just subscribe, like, you know what to do. We have some interviews, so on and so forth. And yeah, we do have BeerGS as well, the same as you guys do. And we have the local community of Not Bombs as well. But you know, it really doesn't matter because we are all the same. Like, literally. Our usual day starts and ends basically the same. We use the same programs, we use the same websites, we use the same applications every day, right? I'm quite sure that most of you use these applications like day by day, right? And, well, we all know that JSFS is good. We all know that JavaScript is good, right? We all know that good user interface is good. So that's why we use this application. That's why we use this particular website. Well, and good user experience is also a crucial part because when you have a button or when you have an input or when you have something and you expect this something to behave in this way, you're gonna be kind of like mad and sad when you have quite the opposite result. So why? Like, literally. Why it's so difficult to combine? Why it's so difficult to combine good JavaScript with good user experience and good user interfaces? Why it's so difficult to combine? Let me give you some details to elaborate this question. I mean, you all live in your comfort zone, right? But someday you have to go through this checklist, okay? You have to buy or rent an apartment, for example. Or you have to renew your driving license, or you want your pet vaccinated, like common stuff, right? And I assume that Netflix or Slack or another application won't help you much with these questions, right? Kind of like challenging stuff. So what you gonna do? Well, basically you have a few options here, and probably you may start with this option, right? You go to some state government building and try to resolve all your questions here. You may end up like standing in this huge queue the whole day, and then probably you won't get your questions solved, so on and so forth. And yeah, like e-government in 2019, maybe let's use some website, something like that. We can use the power of the web to solve our problems, to solve our day-to-day problems. And yeah, I was pretty much naive to think that basically the previous tasks can be implemented online. Let me show you why. So these days I live in Minsk. And in Minsk we have this amazing website which helps, which ideally should help the locals to resolve all their questions, right? You want to buy an apartment? Yeah. You want to do something more? Yeah, just go ahead. And as you can see, this particular website is really like time travel to, I don't know, something like 2000 or even like late 90s. That's really not great, right? No? Okay. How about this one? Another city of Belarus has completely the different interface. And actually, as you can see, you might get lost just like that. You might get confused just like that. And just have a look here in the middle. There's some, yep, right there, some magic zone when scroll behavior is absolutely the opposite. You want to go down? Yeah, you do. Scroll up. You want to go down? Yeah, scroll like vice versa. You got the idea, unfortunately. Yeah, and basically in each city, we have a unique experience, unique user experience. And it's truly amazing. So as you can see, some of them, they even don't have search component. Search, just basic search. Like, you want to find something? Yeah, go ahead. Spend the whole day trying to find the solution. And it's really, really bad, so to say. And if you think, I mean, like, if you naively think that you can be more unique, you can be, like, more imaginative with this design, yeah, you can. How about that? Yeah, like, that's not good, right? That's like, go back to your past experience, right? That's like Square, I don't know, probably like Windows 8 or something like that. They had this like Square design, like Metro design. Yeah, that's really horrible experience to have. And, well, of course, all these websites, they are terribly slow. They're terribly, like, just to see. Basically, you cannot unsee them. And unfortunately, again, some of them, they just don't provide accessibility version of it. Well, actually, they have to provide it. They're just government website. They have to have the accessible version. Some of them do provide, but only in the desktop version, not only in mobile version. And yeah, once we switch to the accessible version, so as you can see, the experience remains the same. So once you like tap, you might go into the completely unknown zone. You won't see the focus of this active element, and basically you just don't know what to do. So imagine like the average user that tries to use this website, either accessible version or regular version. That's really like the worst experience. So let's try to combine all this bad stuff about this government, about this usual, so to say, websites that are recently in the web. So they all have quite unique, but still common, 6 things. So let's go through them. So first of all, they have mixed protocols. They have completely different URLs. So once you have one city, it might end up with -city.gov- something. Another will have like -city. Another will have like another, and it's really bad. Again, they all implemented via different tech stack. So once you go to the developer tools, you will see like the bloodiest console ever. Like a lot of errors, a lot of warnings, a lot of just, I don't know what to do. And basically you might find some, like, I don't know, maybe secret information in the comments, in the code. I don't know, probably that's for like someone to do, like back in the 2005, something like that. Yep. 2019, they all have it. Like, literally, they all do have jQuery because it's robust. Well, it used to be robust like 10 years ago, but why should we change it? Low performance. Yeah, they're completely slow. They're completely horrible behavior. They do have it. And once you try to open it via mobile phone, yeah, good luck with that. Poor accessibility, if any. And I mentioned one more time, unique design. Yeah, they all do have unique design. You won't like get all the answers you want just straight away. But how about that? Quite easy, quite understandable, quite simple. And still, you have a particular search. You have at least 3 basic items that absolutely covers like 80% of all the requests like local citizens do have. Or about this one, like the updated version. Again, quite understandable, quite okay. So what these websites have in common? They have United States web design system. Okay, so web design system, at least design system at the GS conference, well, probably something not right here. So let me go back and just provide you a simple explanation, simple, that basically will cover the idea. Well, a scalable framework or decision parts of a team behavior across a product portfolio that coverage converge into coherent experiences. Blah, blah, blah. Boring, right? You just don't get the idea of it. Just let's go under the hood. What you might find in the every design system. So basically it has foundation, styles, so icons, typography, colors, grids, some common stuff for designers. Also it has UI kit. And if we talk about the atomic design, we might say that it's atoms, molecules, organisms, or if we talk in the regular language, it's like element, components, and pages. And it has some additional kit. It's how to use it, how to use this particular design system, some brand book of the usage of this particular web design system, tone and voice, which colors should be used here and here, some guidelines for developers, designers, product owners, final users at least. So let's understand the basic idea of the design system. So it helps you to create a common vocabulary. So building the common vocabulary will empower you to create the common components. By common components, I mean that, okay, we do have this tooltip. So for designer, the tooltip is going to be like that. And for developer, this tooltip will be like that. That's quite understandable. So it helps to create a common language. It helps to create a common language between different departments, between different teams, between different individuals. And as you can see, United Web Design Systems, is quite colorful and has a lot of information itself. So let's go deeper and have a look at it. So as you can see, there are a lot of different parts of it. So like for developers only, for designers only, the ways you can use something, the ways you shouldn't use this particular element. And it's quite understandable. So even like once you look at it, you do really understand it. And also it has a set of rules. It has a set of elements as well, like alert, like where it should be used, how and when. It's really understandable stuff. And actually, guys, you do have the same. Yep, brand new. Like a few months ago, the Ukrainian web design government systems was created. And it's really great because in Belarus we don't have it. And just if you didn't have a look at it, just go ahead. It's really cool stuff. And as you might see, it's very easy to understand the main idea of it. So it has some elements, some colors, some icons, some typography, so on and so forth. That's really good to understand stuff. And let's like switch back a little bit from the government part of the design system, because some of you might like think that probably this talk is like kind of like against governments or something like that. And nope. So design system itself is the thing, not only for government websites, it's just for the product, for the application, so on and so forth. So as you can see, Google, for example, they have their own design system, like material design. And once you see these like material icons, material elements, you do have in your mind a clear understanding. Okay, that's Google. So you have a clear link between what you see and what it represents. It's really great. And again, for developers, it's good stuff to have as well. So as you can see, for example, we might use button in this case, and the code should be like this and that and that. We might change it in this and that way. It's really easy to understand. And even Microsoft, again, joined this, so to say, group of design system owners, even Audi. The car company tries to do everything best they can to provide the better user experience, the better designer experience, the better developer experience, just to make things right. And it all sounds like really great, right? Like having this design system stuff. But do you really need a design system? Okay, like this is like the basic question. And well, honestly, working as a team lead, day by day, I walk through this usual but very tricky questions, like when we should hide the success message, why do we have 4 different filters, so on and so forth. So as you can see, like I won't read them all. And having all these questions just empowered me to create some sort of classification, some sort of identifications of the thing that probably you need a design system. So right now will be some interaction just to know you better and just to understand the current front-end, just current IT market in Ukraine. Source of the truth, hell. Just, you have a Jira ticket, right? With a simple description, with a simple task. Implement this and that. Okay. You try to implement it, then whoops, we have some new quality assurance engineers, and they provide you a Jira bug. Well, it should behave in this and that way. All right. You just ping someone at Slack, and you have quite the opposite description. Then you have an email with absolutely the different explanation of how things should work. Then okay, finally you will have a call with your product owner, with your product manager, whoever, and basically it ends up with the phrase such as, okay guys, I just don't understand. You have a Jira ticket, what's your problem? Just please raise your hand if you do have source of the truth hell on your current project. Okay. Well, actually, it's not okay, but I get you. Design hell. So then you kind of like realize what behavior should be done here. And then you go to the design part of this particular ticket. Okay, we have final PSD file. All right. And we have final edited JPEG file. That's good. And we have final 1 sketch file. And we have edited PDF. And we have another file with unknown format, with the unknown name, but somehow designer might open this file, and it works completely fine on his or her laptop. Which particular design you should use with the implementation of this task? Just again, like anyone here? All right. Okay, now you resolve all your problems with colors and the simple explanation of the behavior. And now you have to choose the button. Yeah, we do have 6 buttons, okay. Which one should we use it? And which disabled color we should use here as well? Should it be this gray color, or should it be that gray color, or should we use this huge OK button? So basically, I called it inventory hell. Anyone here, inventory hell? All right, all right. Okay. You did understand colors, you did understand the description, you've implemented it in a good way. Whoops. And then, all of a sudden, you realized that all this code was already provided in the megablock.js, like 2 months ago. And you just try to deep dive into your code base, and then you understand that, well, actually, we had the same functionality being implemented a year ago, and it was implemented in TypeScript, and it was called container TS. Anyone called duplication hell, like rework stuff? All right. But actually, I'm kind of afraid to remove this implementation of a container TypeScript because it really slows the performance, and you don't know what will happen once you remove it. So you're kind of like afraid to remove this weak part of your chain from your application. And again, I assume that basically some of you have this weak part of the application which really, really, really slows down the performance of your application, right? Anyone here, performance hell? Yeah. And truly, to eliminate this weak part of your application is kind of challenging task because you have kind of so-so architecture of your application. You have a kind of so-so structure of your application. Okay, like let's remove this component and try to have a look what will happen next. You just fix the color or you fix some elements and boom, all of a sudden everything's gone. Anyone here? Architecture hell? So you have something, right, that you're kind of like afraid to touch, like it works. Okay, it's Friday, I won't touch it, yeah? Yeah, okay. And with all these kind of like simple tasks, right, you have to find someone who are eager, who are brave enough to fix it, right? So who's going to do it? Yeah, juniors. Yeah, like why not? You have a simple Jira ticket with a simple explanation. You have all the designs provided. We have like even code base for you. Just copy paste it, like tweak it somehow. Like read the documentation, ask your colleagues. Boom. This new employee is gone. Like, really? Anyone here been in these shoes or just try to solve the problem with juniors? That's another, like, so to say, stone to the designers. I'm not talking that designers are bad people. They're very creative people. They have everything is going on in their mind. And really, it looks nice, yeah. But once you try to integrate this logo, this shiny logo into your application, once you try to integrate this super pooper loading component, and once you try to have this magician background, yeah, it will slow the performance. But still, designer thinks that it looks nice, yeah. Well, actually, it really looks nice, but it will slow down your performance. Anyone here, like conflicts between designers, developers, it looks nice, but I won't implement it? Another stuff. Once I see that some particular application has a lot of pop-ups, models, something like that, some state of the application changes, and actually you might notice it by these pop-ups, by these models, and you don't know in which order should you close them, and so on and so forth. And like for me, it is an indication of a bad design. It's like so-so implementation because we'll actually have to implicitly show the state of your application without these like pop-ups and models. Anyone? here. Okay. The last but not least, with all this combination, you are way afraid of the release day. Like basically, you're gonna like commit suicide better than just go on the release day or just the day after release day, just to support the product or something like that. Anyone release day? No. Like Friday releases, right? Okay. So let's switch back from all these hells and answer the most popular question related to the design system. It's like really top one question. So design system might be implemented only with React. Yeah, but still it's like top one question. I have to ask it. Warning, like the next slide gonna shock you. So viewer discretion is advised. So I saw some kids here, like just be careful. So yeah, no matter which framework or library you use, like once you create flexible, scalable, and stable software architecture, like really, you might work with this combination. Yeah, just create good stuff, right? Create good application. It really doesn't matter. Like you might have some parts in Vue, you might have some parts in Angular, you might have something in Vector or something like that. It's fine. It's fine. Once it's stable, it's okay. Okay, just continue work. Another good question, who is the owner of design system? Because it really sounds great. Once you go to your boss or to your product manager or whoever, like in the upper chain, so to say, you might face this question. And again, this is opinionated stuff. The first answer that you're probably going to have from your manager, well, okay, I've never heard of design systems. You are so smart. Do it. Single maintainer won't work. It's way opinionated stuff. It's way dogmatic. Now, again, another option is design system contractors. Again, just don't do it. Basically, it is provided by some team of professionals which in a month or in a two will create a unique design system for your company, for your application. There are some way huge list of cons about it. Well, again, it's going to be opinionated. You won't get in touch with these guys, and it's basically not the best option here for you. Everyone. Well, basically, you can stop your whole production, your whole like software development lifecycle, and switch to design system. Kind of like pricey. So create a core team. Just create a bunch of people. So create, okay, and then they're gonna implement the design system. A few designers, a few developers, a few QA engineers, some business owners, they'll do it in a good way. Again, another question, how to migrate from an old and ugly application to a new shiny one with design system? Again, opinionated stuff. Parallel migration. That's, just don't do it, just don't repeat our mistakes. You have an old application and you have a new application. So you have to support both of them. You have to work on both of them, and you'll have bugs in this and in that application. Probably won't work. Then, all of a sudden, migration. Imagine that you have your ugly, so to say, just no offense, application, and then you think that, okay, probably on Monday we're gonna switch to the new design. Like, why not? Well, trust me, your users will be shocked, like completely shocked, like definitely. First of all, you will have like a lot of bugs, you will have a lot of feedback, like, where's the button? How should I use this and that? Try to do step-by-step migration. That's the easiest way. Simple situation. You have your application. Try to work with simple elements, buttons, for example. Try to make them common, try to make them very, very, so to say, not unique, but still easy to understand that this is the button, and this is the button, and this is the button, and they all have the same look, and they provide the same experience. But again, it's opinionated stuff. Top 5 question. Nope. Nope. Yep.
Regarding all those approaches that you mentioned, the right choices, opinionated opinion.
Yeah.
I'd say that it really depends on what product
Yeah, yeah.
and what sort of team you have.
Yeah, sure.
Because many companies choose this way, having a core team working on a common well, and like basically everyone hates that. That's real.
Yeah.
Real thing because
Yeah.
when you have a core team, it usually means that everyone is it essentially becomes a bottleneck because
Yeah.
everyone is dependent because you should also have good agreement between business people and technical ones because product managers, owners, whoever will have some custom things.
Yeah, sure.
Will require either overwrapping those components or like make them from scratch, right? And when you have the migration,
Yeah, I'm terribly sorry. Like things. Well, let's.
how do you deal with that? When you have a bottleneck, it's a core team.
Well. Actually, let's go back into this particular question. Like once I'm done with the presentation, okay? Like, thanks for your. No. So thank you for your opinion on my opinion. So that's good. Like people do have opinions. That's great. So yeah, we're gonna continue it. No, not yet. Like I have like 20 something slides, or even more. Oh no, sorry. We're not in the middle of the talk actually. So yeah, wait a little bit. Check. Yeah. So no, actually, you won't have a package that will solve all your problems. You won't have a clear, just 1 hour solution of this idea. And usually, creation of the design system itself goes through the kind of long period of time, kind of like step-by-step process. So you have to investigate it and collect the feedback, then architecture it, collect the feedback, build it, feedback, review it, feedbacks, test it, feedbacks, just talk to each other, just communicate, because once you skip some feedback session, it's going to be crucial that you miss that in the long-term perspective. And repeat, and then repeat again. Probably, you might still don't get the benefits of the design system itself. So you will have the bulletproof design. What I mean by that all design items are stored in the one place. Your designers use proper tools. You have consistent design. You have scalable design. And design and code integration. And what I mean by that is that, well, actually nowadays, designers don't use Photoshop or Paint or something like that too much. They use Sketch, which provides a lot of functionality, a lot of features for them just to identify some issues, to identify some errors that might save a lot of time later on. So it has like completely great list of plugins. Or they might even spot the accessibility issue at the early stage. That's, again, good stuff here. Again, Zeppelin has also a lot of stuff that might solve a lot of issues later on. For example, you might spot 2 issues and some warnings here that probably some font should be used here instead of another one. And actually, it's good to find this particular issue at the design stage rather than in your code, rather than in the production stage. There is even like Framer X, another great tool in the terms of integration, design, and code. Again, That's great stuff to use nowadays. There's even like React Sketch app. Well, truly, just don't trust this application 100%. You still have to tweak the code a little bit because it's not the final version of it. But still, for the like early prototypes, it's really nice to have this integration between code and the designs. That's nice to have. And there is something more actually, abstract. Anyone here ever heard of abstract app? Okay, just brace yourself then. Well, first, this tool provides quite okay experience when you have some icons, for example, or something like that, and you want to download them. So you don't have to ask the designers, like, please just send me an icon of this and that element. Well, actually, you might like download it by yourself, like PNG, SVG, whatever you want. That's good, right? That's nice. You ready? Commits. Designers have commits. They have design review, they have design pull request, they have branches. Nice, right? And of course, they have commits history. So now you really do know who changed it. Why did he or she change that particular element or this particular color? And the cool thing here is that here we have the code and design integration. So once designer changed something, you might download the code. Once you change the code, designer will download the designs as well. So integration, that's nice to have. And as you can see, it provides you like a lot of stuff to communicate in a better way. You'll have the bulletproof development as well. So here I speak about the truly component-driven development, and it's the definition itself of the design system. It's not some framework fan stuff. So you might use like React, Vue, Angular, Svelte, whatever. You might add as many tests, as many auto test checks, like pre-commit hooks, whatever. You might add some code duplication checks, whatever. Just make it like as bulletproof as you can and ship it. Then finally you'll have bulletproof releases. So here you're not like so here you don't have to use some like learner only. You might have used like bug as well, like PNPM, like no options. Here, like for strict usage like of yarn or npm, you just can use like whatever you want. You might create the product, you might create the design system, just basically solves all your needs, and it's great stuff. And yeah, just remember about your friends, about your QA engineers. They're also going to be happy since all your code, since all your elements covered with all the tests, with all the audits, with all the checks. Finally, they will have the basically great product, basically the bulletproof one. So, a few things when design system won't help. There are some. You are the only one. Basically, you have the startup. You are the one person, or you have like a bunch of friends. You're trying to create the good stuff, but actually there is no space for the design system. You have to be quick. You have to ship the product ASAP. Just ship it. When you know that X sprints left, yeah, like you know that basically your product will be supported like a month, or that you're gonna work on this particular feature like for a week or something like that. There is no place to implement design system. Yeah, another stuff, when you have a huge old stuff, legacy code-based support project, yeah, just don't do it, because you'll get lost in this legacy stuff, and basically you won't like start the design system process itself in general. Again, there is another tricky situation when the design system won't help, is the partial responsibility. Basically, you have the application, and you work on some part of this application. And you create a core team who is responsible for this particular part of the application, but then actually have some another teams, so they imagine like live in another city, another country, whatever, and you have difficulties in communication. You have just simple, like common lack of understanding each other. So basically, it won't help here in the creation of design system. So this comes from your management. Like, well, actually, we won't let anyone in the world see our code. Well, actually, you're just doing buttons, okay? Like, it's not like nuclear weapons. It's not like rocket science. Like, come on, just show the world what you've done. But yeah, again, some management issues here. Some good ideas, again, like opinionated ideas. Before implementing the design system itself, like think twice about adding design system itself. Like, do you like really need it or not? Don't copycat all your competitors. Yeah, just don't do it if you think that, okay, so this particular company, they have a design system, we should build one as well. And while building it, just do not reinvent the wheel. You should have like colors, components, some typography, some how-to, that's it. Do not reinvent the video course of how you use your product in like, I don't know, like 100 hours or something like that. That's useless, that's basically useless. And again, remember that it's not only for designers as well, it's not only for developers as well. It's not only for React. And actually, design system is constantly evolving. So you can be that sure that, okay, we'll do it in a month, or we'll do it in a half a year, or we'll do it, I don't know, in a few sprints. No, it's constantly evolving. So don't be too optimistic about the timing. So don't be that naive. Adjust your components as much as you can, as much as that possible. Because once you have, again, a design system, and you hope that it will solve all your problems, and you end up with, like, I don't know, 25 buttons, what the hell? Why did you choose the design system itself at the first place and then recreated your like previous application with this design system? Invest in performance at the early stage. Why is that important? Because it's really hard to tweak the performance of your whole application later on once you have these like weak components. And invest in accessibility as well. Because once you create the accessible elements that has the proper accessibility level, you might find yourself in a better position in a long-term perspective. Again, do not skip feedbacks. That's a really crucial part in the form and the implementation of design system as well. And yeah, once you do create a design system, please just do not switch to design system version 2, design system version 3, so on and so forth. You'll get your team just confused. You'll get your users confused, really. Again, this another opinionated stuff here, but yeah, just stick to the one, fix it, like tweak it as much as you possible, so we'll have the clear understanding that this is what we built, this is what we're gonna live like for the next year or like for the next 2 years. This all sounds good, right? Like design system is a good thing. But back to the world, you're just like so impressed, so like in a good mood with the design system. And then you go back to your office, back to your project, back to your company, whatever. And you have this question, what are the real benefits of design system? And this is the question of your project manager, your product owner, whoever. Yeah, like you came up with the idea of design system, and the basic answer is going to be like, design what? I thought that, guys, you need just React and that's it, like another framework or what? So this is kind of like a bonus time of this talk. So this is like a crash course, how to sell the idea to your boss, or how we can translate JavaScript front-end language ideas to a business language. This is going to be like a few slides. Again, design system will provide you a cross-department communication fix. Really, it's your problem. You have to fix it. You don't understand the value of this stuff. but your managers do not understand it. The business do not understand it. Let's translate it. This communication fix is less meetings, productive meetings, and more time for work. The next part of design system is elimination of tech and design debt. Okay, you know that feeling, you have to understand that, okay, we have to somehow eliminate it. Business just doesn't care about it. It's just useless. So, translated to business, work less, do more, skip the rework, and no work in vain. I think that probably business will like it. Scale the app, yeah, you want to scale the app. You want a full reuse. You want to have release faster without any inconsistencies. And now we translate it to the business language. We have release the app more often, happy users, more money. Understandable, understandable. And the last but not least part here is that for you, once you are leading a team or you're just working a team, you do care about the increase the team with easy onboarding, just so your juniors won't get trapped in this puddle, right? Let's translate it to the business language. Quick introduction of the new employees, effective new employees, and like cherry on the top of this cake, just remember the word might. We might find that lead developer with 6 years of experience with Svelte because we have a design system. Might, just might. That's like opinionated stuff. So, design system is not a silver bullet. However, just give it a try. Many companies already use design system. They already build their own design systems. So as you can see, there's a link. You can go to this link, have a look at it, explore the whole list, explore the features they provide, explore the code, explore the design items they have, and probably your company will join this list as well. And probably that's it for this talk. Thank you, everyone.
We have 5 minutes for the questions, if you have any. Do you?
Yeah, we might go with this question.
You can answer it, of course.
Yeah, but did you like... Okay.
Yeah, so how do you deal with that?
Well, basically you have to establish the strict code review, and you have to establish strict rules at the project, at the company, because it's the crucial part of the design system itself. Because once we have a core team, but they have no power, they have no respect, they have no authority, it's not a core team at all, right? But once this core team have the only rights to approve pull request, for so to say, or they are the only one who can like dictate or something like that the rules of how things are done at a very particular project. So that's the way. Because once any of the like quality gate, any of the like I don't know, code standards are broken, it seems that this core team is not doing like enough, because their only work is two items. First, implement a design system in a good way, in a proper way, and then the second, control, monitor the whole situation of the development. That's it. So that's why they're core team. They are not like the regular team. No offense.
Yeah, it sounds pretty well in technical paradigm, but you also have business people who want features, and they want it now, and then they want those features to be custom, and they can be not satisfied with core components that are already in Storybook, for instance, or this kind of tool. And well, you have different stakeholders, which are technical and business, and how do you align with those stakeholders who want it now, but you have the teams that are dependent on core team which provides like highly excellent code, but it takes time. And you have dependencies which are actually expensive.
Yeah, like so basically the answer for this question is quite simple. So you have to ask these business people a simple question like, you want a shitty product today or you want a good product tomorrow? That's it. So that's the answer. So if you can wait a week or a few days, I'm pretty much sure that once you work in a design system, you don't have any component that have to be developed in a month, for example. You just build a tiny components, right? Just like small items that creates a whole system, right? So that's why you just simple ask a question. You want a shitty product today or you want a good one tomorrow? That's it. So they cannot argue with this question. That's like the standard question, but still it works.
But the answer to this question is not so always usually. Time to market.
Yeah, but still, again, it's opinionated and it might. Yeah.
Any more questions?
Yeah, thanks for the speech. And I have one question regarding our communication between the actual team that uses the design system and the core team. So usually when we have the testing stage, the actual test engineers that are part of some development team take care of checking whether this box or the button for the right color, the right size, and other stuff. And usually when they have a deal with it, they are checking the actual colors in the Chrome DevTools or something like that.
Okay.
And obviously it's not, it's very time-consuming process. So maybe you can advise some automatic tools in order to check whether the applied design changes coincide with the actual design system.
Well, actually, first of all, you have to invest more in the semantic versioning of your system. So once you update, I don't know, probably some text or some header or something like that, you'll have a whole team get notified about the change, so they don't have to go through the whole application. They don't have to go through like all pages of the application just to check it. That's the first case. That's like the high-level case. The second case is that basically once you can automate any process, any build, anything, just do it. Because with even like visual regression testing, with snapshot testing, with any part of any automation testing, all your quality assurance engineers will be happy with that. They don't have to go through like all the stuff that you built. And then once you create the design system, or even once you do have like UI component libraries, well, still you have the latest version of a button, or you have the latest version of the input. So once all the code checks, all the design checks, everything checks, then and only then this code is available at any environment that you have, like testing, whatever. And basically, like Storybook or any other design system visual representation, so to say, they provide you the latest version of it. They don't have the yesterday option, or they don't have the option which are in the developer stage. So that's why you'll have the only exact working and working in a good way stuff. So that's the answer.
And sorry, one more small question. Yeah. So actually, in our firm, we've started developing own design system.
Okay.
And one of the first problems that we've struggled with is the inconsistency of the design language that is provided by the designers, and usually they're about 1 or 2 steps behind from the perspectives of setting up the rules for this or those components, because most oftenly we are receiving the requirements for some new component and it contains new actionable items that are not yet in the design system, and how do you, in your firm, usually handling such situations?
Well, first of all, it seems that, like again, no offense, that probably you're not using the right tool, right? That actually creates more issues than it rather helps the process, right? So first of all, go to some alternatives. I mean, like talk to your design team and elaborate the possibility of switching to another tool. I'm not quite sure like which tools are you using right now and which tools you might or might not use due to some like legal issues or something like that, or some like public privacy stuff. But still, there are a lot of even plugins for Sketch, for example. Once you like change something, first you will have a notification, you will have the email notification, you will have like Slack notification, you will have like a lot of notification, and then you'll see the history of changes as well. And still, like my top advice here is just really try to use abstract, because with the abstract you will have only the latest changes, and once you need something like from the previous day, you might go back through the commit history, and then that's it, voila. That's it, basically.
Okay, that should be it. Let's thank our speaker for the presentation with the applause.
Okay.